Hey friends, this is Pastor Craig, and I'd like to welcome you to Ask Pastor Craig. Thanks for joining me this evening. So it's usually this time of year, the Christmas season, when I get a lot of questions about enduring the holidays, or depression during the holidays, or dealing with family conflict during the holidays. And I think that for a lot of us, we can probably relate to that. You know, Christmas is an interesting time of year because it's a mixed bag, really. There's deep religious connection tied to the Christmas holiday, and there's also a deep emotional connection tied to the holiday as well. Sometimes those emotions are great emotions, and other times they are emotions with conflict. Perhaps there is trouble with the family or conflict within the family, and we're asked to overlook that conflict for a get-together or something of that nature. And others of us feel very alone during the Christmas season. And so I understand the conflict that a lot of us endure. And instead of answering just one question, I kind of wanted to address all of them in this time that we have together. I'd really like to encourage you to... there was a time when the Christmas holiday was a deeply religious time of year, when Christ and the gift of salvation was reflected upon, it was celebrated, and the holiday was deeply connected to that event. Now, our culture has become much more commercialized, and so the holiday has taken on, while it still holds the meaning, it's taken on a whole different approach. But we don't have to let that commercialism completely corrupt our holiday this year. I do this every year, and I'd like to once again invite you to make this time of year a deeply religious, deeply spiritual moment for you. Something that is deeply connected to the reason that we celebrate Christmas, the gift of salvation, Christ, and God's gift of Him to you and I. There's a lot of different ways that you can do that. You can attend some kind of a church function, perhaps a concert or a play or something of that nature, maybe a candlelight service. We used to do that every year. There's other ways you can do that too. Find people of similar faith to you and get together at a coffee shop or something like that and just discuss the birth of Christ. Maybe read the passage where the angels herald the coming of Christ to shepherds in the field. I would encourage some of you to do maybe a study on the shepherds and their place in that culture, and how magnificent it is that the heavens chose the shepherds to first tell of the coming of Christ. There's a lot of great stuff. I know for me, every year I'd like to take some time on Christmas Eve just to reflect on that moment and what it really means. Don't let this season be corrupted by the conflicts within your family, or the commercialism, or the financial burdens sometimes that it places on us. But instead, this year, let your faith stand for something. Be deeply connected to, I hate to say this term because it's so cliche, but let your faith be deeply connected to the reason for the season. It's your life to construct. It's your holiday to create. So make it as deeply and as passionately connected to Christ as you want it to be. I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to hear what you're going to do this year to make the season a spiritual event for you, a moment of reflection for you. You can reach us in a couple of ways. One is at my Facebook page, which is facebook.com/Pastor Craig Online, or on the Rock of Refuge Facebook page, which is facebook.com/ROR Ministries. I'd really love to hear about how this year, this Christmas, is going to be somehow a spiritually connected, a deeply religious connected season for you this year. God bless you, and Merry Christmas.